We are going to design the 23-story building using the following details. You can see we have three column sections, three beam section, M40 grade concrete, high yield 500, mine 200 rebar slab. We have 150 millimeter thick M40 grade concrete using auto draw cladding, and the cladding load is 0.2 kN per meter. We have in wind load we consider Bangalore. Here we have, you can see we have four grids in x-axis and also in y-axis, all of it which has 6 meter. So uh, let's go and open an Etabs applications as we all have it installed in our systems. So here we go. This is the Etab application window. Now you go to file, you say click on new model. You set the initial parameters. This metric, this India, you put in India. For steel design code, you put IS 800 2004. And for concrete design code, you put IS 456 2000. Click on OK. Here you set the initial grids. In our design, we are having four grids in the x-axis. So we set here four. And y-axis, we are also having four grids. So we put four. Spacing between the grids in x is 6 meters each. So we have six here. Here we also have six. Number of stories. Here, when we come here, we specify the data. So in this case, we will be having similar story. So in this case, we'll put this, we come to custom story data. Sorry, before going there, we specify here, we're having the number of stories is 23, and typical story height is 3 meter. This is 3 meter in each case. So we click on custom story data. So we edit the story data now. You can see we are having 23 stories. Now, in this, we make a similar stories. If we can observe 1 to 8 stories are similar, 9 to 14 stories are similar, 15 to 19 are similar, and 20 to 23 are similar. So you come back downward, story 1 to H. So here you put yes. So you make it the master story. Here you put story H, similar to story H, story H. Here we put story H. Here we put story H. The same, you do the same for all. After that, we go from 9 to 14. So we'll be having 9 to 14 stories. So from here to 14, click on yes here and change this to story 14. Story 14. Story 14. Story 14. And story 14. We move off and we are having here story 15 to 19. So from 15 to 19, we are having similar stories. So here you put yes, and here you put story 19, story 19, story 19, and story 19. So all of these are similar. The last one is 20 to 23. In this case, we are having 23. So we already specify yes, and these have been similar stories in each case. You can scroll down to see and check. After that, we click on OK. So we define our story dimensions. We click on grid only and click OK. We wait for the software to load the data, and we should be patient depending. Okay, here we go. Let's wait for a minute or two for the software to load the data. Okay, here we are. So this is our 20. This is a 3D view of our 23-story buildings, and this is a plan view. Now, the first thing to do now is to define our materials. So you go to define material properties, and we click on add new to add our materials. Set the initial properties. Here we put India. Let's say we go for concrete base support. Here is India. The grade of our concrete is M40, is specified. Then we click on OK. This M40 concrete, let's say we specified it as M40 concrete. And now we click on OK. Now we add another material. In this case, we are adding our river. It's Indian. We have high steel grade, which is 500. So we add it also. Here we can leave it as it is. That is HYSD 500 river. So we click on OK. We add this steel. We add another material again, rebar, but in this case mild, which is mild 250. So we click on OK. We keep it as mild 250. We click on OK. Click on OK again. So now we define our material properties. We have three materials: M40 concrete, HYSD 500, and mild 250, and we specify all of them. That's for the materials. Now we go straight forward to define the section. And to do so, we click on define. I go to section properties. We go to frame sections. So in this case, we define our columns and beams. So first of all, let's go and define columns. So click on add new property, concrete, that is rectangular shape. So let's name it as our first column is column 500 by 500. We change the grade of concrete to M40, that is a material, and here we change the dimension 500 by 500. We modify the steel rebar. Here we select, we check this as since we are in column, so the design should be PM to M3 design column. We select IN strength 500, and here we select my. We check the spacing, that is the cover, sorry, which is 40. That's according to IS. So we click on OK since it is constant. After defining all this, we go and click on OK. So here we have our concrete column 500 by 500. Now we add a copy of the column by clicking on add copy of the property. We add another column here, let's say column 550 by 550, and we have M40 grade. Here we change it to 550, 550. All our rebar is there constant, so we don't have to change another thing. So the only thing that we need to is to name it and also to change the dimension. So we click on OK. That is 550 by 550. So it's added. We add another since we are having three. In this part we say column 600 by 600. So we change the dimensions to 600, and here also 600. We click on OK since all the properties are there already. Now we have two columns, but in this case we should have to create how to select, that is so that the software can select any of the columns above directly without needing to go back and select and redefine, redesign, and do all the analysis again. So in this case, we click on add new properties and we go to auto select list. In this case, let's say auto select column. We name it auto select column. This is a concrete. So here we have our three columns. So we select all of them. We add to the list and we click on OK. Okay. Uh, Now you can see after defining all the properties, we come uh, okay. Now we are having auto select column. Now we next go on define our beams. That is, we add our new properties. We click on concrete. We select beam. Let's say beam 500 by 300. Change it to M40 concrete. Here we put 500 in the dimension. Here we put 300. So we modify the river longitudinal. Sorry, first of all, check this to M3, that is beam only. We change this to high yield, this to my yield 250, and here the cover is 25 according to IS millimeter. So here we change it to 25 and we click on OK. So now we define the beam 500 by 300. So click on OK. As did before, to add another, we just click on add copy of the property. So here we change the name as to beam 550, beam 550 by 350. We only change the dimension here to 550 and here to 350 and we hit OK. We add another copy of the property and here let's say beam 600 by 400. So here we continue 600 and there is 400. We click on OK. Now we also add a auto select beam as we did for column. So in order to do so, we click on add new property. We click on auto select list, and here let's say be auto select beam. Yeah, auto select. Here we change to concrete. So here we have our three beams. We add them here and we hit on OK. Now after that, after hitting on OK, we have our auto select beam, auto select column. You can change. You can click now on OK. There's it a window. So we define our beam sections and column section. Next is to define our slab. So we go to section material section property. We go to slab section and define it. Click on add new property, and now let's say slab 150. And image slab 150. Click on M40 grade concrete. And here we put the slab thickness as 140 millimeter. We hit on OK. So you can see our slab here is defined. We click on OK. After doing that, the next stage is to actually draw our uh, elements. So in order to do so, what we will be doing is, first of all, we will consider story that is similar story. So we go to change this to similar stories, and in that case we select any of the story that are within the range of the similar story. So I mean, like, we are, if we are having from story 1 to 8, we can see that it is all similar, so we can add a property on any of the story. So basically here we are at story, we can see Z is story 23, right? So we can use the arrows to go back to, let's say, story 1, so that we start from the bottom. Here we are at Z is equal to 3, that is story 1. Now, first of all, we go and draw our columns using the row beam column brace object. We hit on quick draw column. So we hit on this one, we click. Now you change here, click and select the column. Auto select column, auto select column. So here we are, auto select column. Now we are having column in each of the intersection here. So we select all. You can see from our 3D. Now next, hit on escape to exit. So this, you can see it define the column, or it add the column from the base up to what we call story 8, since they are all similar. Now in order to move up, we move using the arrow to story, any story between 9 and 14. So we go, let's say, let's go to story 9. Here we are, that's story 9. And in this case, you carefully select the columns, since we don't have two columns at the extreme edge corner. So we click on draw beam, quick draw columns. You select the area where you're having columns based from your plan. So you can see we are having columns in this manner here also. So we don't have this column that is from story 9 to 14. You can see it from the 3D view. Hit on escape and move up to story 15 to add. Okay, here we are at story 14 or 15. You can check from here which story you are. You can see we are at story 15. So we click on draw, we add columns, click draw columns, and we select the area that we are having columns based on your plan view. So here we'll be having column this way and this way. Next, hit escape and we move forward to the next similar. stories, that is story 20 to 23. So here we are at story 20. Now we click on draw columns as usual. So we have the columns. Here we're having only six. So here they are six. Hit on escape. Now we draw all the columns, and next we move back to add columns, sorry, to add beams. And in order to do so, we go back to story one since we are using similar stories. Go back to story. You can check the progress here. Choose operation. We are at the base now. Okay, story one. Here we are at story one. Now click on draw. Click on pick through beams and columns. Here select the property, change the property to auto select beam, and then select the area to draw your beams. You can see it from the 3D view. We use the arrows to go back to story 9, which is operation. So story. Here we are at story 9. So we hit click on draw beam, click draw beams. So we draw our beams here. So we draw our beams, hit on escape, and we move off to story 15. Here we are story 15. So in this case, we click on draw, click draw beams or columns, and select the area where you want to draw your beams. Now up next, we hit escape first of all, then we move to story 20. Okay, click on draw, beams, click draw, beams or column, and then select the area where we want to draw. Hit on escape to exit. Now we are going next to draw our beams, and in order to do so, we go back to our story one as we did in other stages. So story one. Here we are, story one. So we go and click on draw, click on draw below all objects, can see it. Click on quick draw, flow on plan. So we hit click on this one, and here we change the property to our slab 150. We select the area that we want to draw and hit on escape. We move up to story 9. Here we are at 6, 7. You can check it here. H 9. Now click on draw as we did before. Click on pick draw. So you select the area also here to draw your. Click on escape and move up to story 15. Here we are at story 15. So we click on draw flow also. Okay, so we select the area. Click on escape and we move to story 20. Here we are at story 20. Sorry. So we click on draw. We click on draw floors. We click on quick draws and we select the area that we want to draw. That is let's 2 plus. Now we click on escape to exit. Let's save our drawings maybe, so that in next video we'll be sharing how to apply the shell loads, the frame loads. To do our calculating, we assign the wing load and we do the analysis and design as usual. So first of all, let's save it. Let's give it a name. Let's say tall building 1. We click on save and we are done. So now our work has been saved. In the next video, I'll be sharing how to also do the analysis and design completely. Thank you for listening and do join me in the next video.